Hey everybody, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the annotated bibliography that is due on March 18th. I know I told you briefly about it last time we met, but just to reiterate, it is what when someone's doing research to put together an article, they may look at a lot of sources, all kinds of sources. So if you are writing an article collecting sources, let's say you looked at 60 sources, and while you're doing your research you would want to organize them in a way where you could look through them really quickly. And so your annotated bibliography is exactly that. It's a place where you can find the name of your article, and then you have a little summary about the article and a little bit about how you might use it in your paper. And so the annotated bibliography is what a researcher makes while they're doing research. But when they actually write their article, they may only cite 12 of those 60 sources. So the annotated bibliography would have all the sources that they think they might use, collected in a way that's easy to navigate. But then when they write their article, just like your works cited page, those are the sources that they actually chose to use. So unlike them, we're doing the same amount of sources in both, in your annotated bibliography and in your works cited page. In your annotated bibliography, those can just be the works that you're thinking about using. But your works cited page, those are the works that you actually used. So they can change in between doing your annotated bibliography and your works cited page. But a lot of them will probably be the same sources because you don't want to spin your wheels too much looking for new sources. So looking through this, you're going to have your 7 entries, and I want you to write 100 words each, not counting the source citation. So you're going to do the MLA source citation for your source, and then you're going to write 100 words afterwards. So the goal of this assignment is to support your research and reading process as you prepare to write your argumentative essay. And I guess the bigger extension is it prepares you to act like a real researcher out in the real world who's collecting sources. So thinking about just the title annotated bibliography, when the word annotated means to make notes. So you are annotating something, making notes on it. You can annotate a reading, and the readings that we're doing for class, I would encourage you guys to annotate, make notes in the margin, underline, all of that. And then bibliography just means a list of sources, like your works cited page. So that together it's a list of sources and your notes about them. So in an annotated bibliography, see, I'm reading this as we go. This is the assignment sheet that I'm going to post on our content page. So you will have 3 things for each of those 7 sources. You'll have the MLA citation, and then a little paragraph about summarizing the main points of the article, maybe the strongest evidence from the source, and then another second paragraph where you assess the quality of the source and the ways in which it might be useful to you. So I want these to be narrative paragraphs and not bullet points. So I actually want you to write in a narrative style. So yeah, your entries should be written clearly enough for a peer to understand your research and personalized enough that they aid you with your own project. So yeah, if someone else were to look at your annotated bibliography, they'd be able to understand how it's going to help you in your research. So you can see here's an example, and you can see the MLA citation for this article and this little summary about it. This report on a study by the photovoltaic technology platform discusses how to promote the use of renewable energy in developing countries. The report proposes a new tariff scheme to increase the flow of money where it is most needed, suggests several business models, and estimates the potential success or failure of each. It concludes that with local governmental support, energy can be brought to developing countries. And then there's another paragraph. This one's more casual, thinking about the research that this author is doing. Though I question its assumption that its plans will eventually be feasible, this report contains useful data and models, including numerous graphs and charts. The detailed information it provides about business models, supply chain setups, and financial calculations will be useful in my analysis, especially in the part of my project that deals with photovoltaic cells. So yeah, it's nice. You got the MLA citation, a little paragraph about a summary of the main points, and then a little paragraph showing how one might use it in their research. So I want to check out a few other examples. Let's look at this one. So this is a student annotated bibliography, and you have to keep in mind that different teachers might require different things from an annotated bibliography. And so the format for these is, the part I'm most strict about is having the MLA citation for the article or book or whatever it is that you're doing research out of. But it doesn't, for these, it doesn't matter to me if they're double-spaced or single-spaced. If you wanted to number them, you could, but really, I just want the citation and then the two paragraphs following. So you can see this, the student, here's what the student said. They take a stand on issues to fight for a fair criminal justice system. This report is a statistical study on incarceration trends in America. The racial disparities in incarceration and drug sentencing disparities. The report goes on to discuss the contributing factors of incarceration, its effect, and exorbitant costs. This report, although alarming, was very helpful and informative in my research on the statistics of the racial disparities of incarceration. The bullet style of the fact sheet makes it easy to read with only focusing on the facts. It will be very helpful, especially in the part of my essay that deals with mass incarceration. So again, they have the MLA citation, a little bit about summarizing the main points, and then a little bit about how they're going to use it. And I will post both of these examples in our content page. But here's another one. So this student chose to do single space, and that's fine. But they did title it with annotated bibliography, MLA citation. Standale explains corporal punishment as an addiction problem with adults. He states how our generations have been and still continues to be fed on violence, using the Bible as our authority to use corporal punishment. Our emotions are caught up in this vicious cycle. We act on anger. He also goes into scientific neurological facts that happen in a child when we spank them. He then ends his article with a way to recover from the addiction of using corporal punishment. And then the next paragraph. There are so many truths in this article about corporal punishment, all of which are backed up by scientific evidence that is definitely worthy of citing. It will help in my argument in that it is a generational habit that we must break, and there are definitely ways of breaking this horrible habit that is hurting our children. So this student wrote about corporal punishment, and you can see that they were consistent with their MLA citation, followed by two paragraphs. Their next citation is here, third citation, and all the way, 7 citations. So hopefully that makes sense. I'll post this content, or this in the content page, and I will post the assignment sheet as well